Hi, this is Lonnie Hanzon in our neighbor's yard today. We are going to talk about canopies on trees, meaning decorations from the crotch of the tree up. We've picked this nice little tree because it's a little easier to demonstrate. We've brought power to the tree. Once again, started our whole string, our original string, in the crotch of the tree, above the ground, away from the water. We've gone down the trunk, back up. We've done this with 4-inch spacing LED lights from GKI Bethlehem Lights. We're now going to continue with 6-inch spacing to do some canopy treatments. Now, with canopy treatments, people think of a lot of different things, and there's some different names. So let's just talk through these a little bit. I'll draw some trees. Pretty trees. Just pretend you're watching some Bob Ross. They're your trees. They can be funny trees. Okay. So we've most likely done wrapping on the trunks, crisscrossing, getting a nice even pattern. Then there is what they call, in a nice way, tornado. And if you were looking from the top down, it would be that you're wrapping the trunk, and then you wrap around the widest part of the tree, and then you go up to the top of the tree, and then hopefully you come back down the other way to fill in the canopy. And that gives you this kind of look. Okay, you've seen it a million times. Basically, somebody runs around the tree, and it's called a tornado. It looks best when you use a lot of lights and with as big a spacing as possible so that you don't see this line. Another canopy treatment, if you have a nice large tree, is what I call icing. You would still wrap all the branches with the normal lighting of, sort of accentuating all the branches, and then you would come through with lights and attach them and let them actually hang, and you go all the way around the tree, and you create what we call icing, just because it's a looping effect. And this works really nice on a nice, really broad tree where you've got a lot of room to work with. And it's real nice if you've lit all the branches, wrapped all the branches in one color, and then done the icing in another color. What we're going to work on today for you is what we would call an all-over canopy or a consistent canopy. And the idea here is to get a nice even look around the tree. If you've got the luxury of having 2 people and 2 ladders, and you don't have to move the ladders a lot, then you could literally have one person on this side, one person on this side, go from your farthest branch over to your farthest branch, and then find something over here, and you move the light string around. And by doing that crisscrossing and going from your outer points and really getting all the way through the tree, you'll confuse the brain enough to make it look like an overall even pattern. Light spacing has gotten much tighter over the years. We used to work with 10-inch and 12-inch and 9-inch and 8-inch, and now very often in this case we're going to be using 6-inch. So in order to get an all-over pattern, you need to go as many different directions so that the eye doesn't pick up this line. In this case, you're actually using the line, and you want the line to show. So, like I said, if you've got 2 people and 2 ladders, fine. You can go from this edge all the way over to the other side and back. If you're one person and you're having to move the ladder, then it's best to be working in sections because, as you know, moving the ladder around, getting up and down off the ladder, it takes the most amount of time. So this is 4 strings of 50 light strings, 6-inch centers, which means that each string is 25 feet long. So this is 100 feet of wire. You can see it goes very, very quickly. This is a very small tree. This is an all-over pattern. So as you can see, we tried to change our angles up and down, side to side, to try to get to all different angles of the tree. And this should give us a fairly consistent look at night. So there you go. That's an overall canopy. And then we've discussed the icing and the tornado. When we find a good treated tornado, I'll show you that one in our next video. So here we are at dusk. You can see that there's an overall canopy across the top. You can't really see where the line is going, perhaps with the exception of this line. If, you know, perhaps you could have thrown another string in top and layered in a little bit more. But this gives you a nice idea of a basic string LED canopy.